everybody, and welcome in to this edition of HCAM Sports Talk. Tom Nappy here, and joining me on the show today, we have Andy Barron and Jared Keene. Guys, how are you?
Good. How are you, Tom?
Good. How are you, Tom?
I am fantastic. Andy Barron, of course, from MIAA FM 101.3, the Sports Buzz. You can hear that every Saturday at 9 a.m. And we have Jared Keene with us, HCAM contributor. A lot of topics to get to on the show today. We'll have our Week 14 NFL picks. And we also have a number of other things going on. It is a crazy sports month. You got World Cup action, and we're going to get into the World Cup a little bit today, talk about USA's performance. And we also had the MIAA football Superbowls this past Saturday. We'll have a few notes about that. And also college football, the BCS college football 14 playoff has been announced. So we will talk about that and some of the other bowl games that you can expect for the college football bowl season. So without further ado, let's get right into it. And I do want to start off with some breaking news out of the baseball world that happened recently. The Philadelphia Phillies and shortstop Trey Turner agreed to an 11-year, $300 million deal. It includes a full no-trade clause, and Trey Turner, the only player in baseball with 90 homers and 140 stolen bases. He led the majors in hits in 2020 and 2021. He finished fifth in 2021 MVP voting after having 195 hits. He won his first batting title with a .328 batting average, finished second in hits in 2022 behind Freddie Freeman. Turner had 194 hits. Freeman had 199. And he played 160 games in 2022, which is certainly an impressive number. Trey Turner has played for Washington 2015 until 2021, where he got traded to the Dodgers at the trade deadline. A .355 career hitter, 124 homers in eight seasons. That's averaging about 15 homers a year. $300 million to the Phillies. That is crazy. An 11-year deal. But this guy's certainly an elite player. Any thoughts on the Trey Turner 11-year deal?
I mean, obviously a really, really talented player. Not sure about the deal. That seems a bit insane a little bit. But yeah, I mean, again, like you said, obviously one of the most talented players in the game. But again, 11 years, $300 million seems a bit excessive, a bit ridiculous.
Here we go all over again. I mean, it's these contracts are ridiculous. This is why baseball needs a salary cap. This is out of control.
Yep.
No player is going to play an 11-year contract. We were just talking about this Saturday on the show. It's crazy. I mean, I don't know why you'd want to sign someone to an 11-year contract. Name one player who's made it through an 11-year contract. I can't think of any.
Yeah, I can't.
Alex Rodriguez? I don't think he even did.
What was his? His was like 10 years, 252 or something.
Yeah. Oh,
Bobby Bonilla certainly didn't.
Until 2033 he's getting paid or something like that? Oh, my goodness.
Yeah, I mean, that is just craziness. And they usually make it through maybe half the deal, if that. What was the Chris Sale deal? Wasn't that like 8 years?
5 years. That was like 5 years. He still got like what, 2 more years on his contract? I mean, these
gross,
unbelievable.
Gross. It feels like an 8-year deal the way that's
yeah, it does.
But the Phillies, they were in the World Series last year. Now they get themselves an elite shortstop, and they'll have him for the next 11 years, whether he's good or not, whether he's hurt or not. So go grab your Turner jerseys, Philly
Good
fans.
luck with
that. Also, in other baseball news, Justin Verlander signed a 2-year, $88 million deal with the New York Mets.
The Mets.
The 39-year-old heading to the Mets. He led the MLB last season with a 1.75 ERA and 28 starts. So he's leaving the World Series champion Houston Astros, heading to the Mets. A World Series that he'll get a ring for that, but he didn't really have a huge part in it. Good regular season pitcher, not too good in the playoffs. So there's your baseball news for the day.
Because didn't Jacob DeGrom just sign somewhere else too? So that's
he signed with Texas.
Yeah,
he signed with the Rangers. I think he had a 5-year deal there.
Yeah.
See, that's more manageable, don't you think? I think 5-year deals are fine. Anybody who's going to sign someone to a 10-year something contract, they're out of their minds, really.
Yeah, I have to agree. I would say anything. I would say like 6 years is the max you want to go.
Yeah,
obviously the Mets are trying to replace DeGrom, but I mean, obviously now he's in a bit of a bigger market, and maybe being with Kate Upton had something to do with it too. She's she's pretty darn popular. So
probably, yeah. Now with Aaron Judge, where do you think he stays with the Yankees?
I do, yeah.
What is he looking for? 8 years? Is that what he's looking for?
I think so.
I think they'll give it to him. I mean, he's the best power hitter in baseball.
One of the best power hitters we've seen in a very long time.
Yeah.
Speaking of the Yankees, they just gave Brian Cashman a 4-year extension.
They did.
He's still there? Oh, man.
Yeah.
I didn't realize he was still there. Wow.
He must be the longest tenured GM ever.
Yeah. He's up there, no doubt about it. Do you think Bogarts goes to the Yankees?
I think there's a very good chance.
I think there's a possibility, yeah.
So, okay, if this happens, then this is going to be this is such a critical offseason for the Red Sox. I really don't think people understand this, and I haven't really even thought about it, but they need to start winning some games, okay? I want to start seeing that this team is serious about putting a contender on the field. I want John Henry to start answering questions to the media. Enough of this nonsense. You're not pulling the wool over Andy Barron's eyes. I'm not falling for this baloney anymore. Start winning some games. I'm tired of this. I'm tired of the speeches. I'm tired of this and that, this PR nonsense that they're doing. If you let Bogarts go to the Yankees, shame on you.
Dude, tell him, man.
I had a feeling when we brought up baseball, Andy was going to get fired up. So
I'm sick and tired of this.
That was good.
I'm tired of this nonsense that the Red Sox are doing. You're selling us a bill of false goods. You're not better than any team in this division. The Baltimore Orioles are even better than you. Shouldn't that make you want to say something like, hey, maybe we should start trying to do something here? This team is not going in the right direction, and I'm not excited for this season. You need to start getting me interested, because right now I'm not interested.
Yeah, I have to agree. And you're getting rid of your franchise player in Bogarts, and who are you going to replace him with?
Well, why are you
getting rid of him? Why'd you let him walk out the door?
Nobody as talented as Bogarts, probably, that's for sure.
Well, Bogarts is a guy too. He's played a lot of games. He's been here 13 years now. It's a long. Yeah, I didn't realize he's been here that long. He's played over 1,000 games, and he's very reliable.
And he's still performing. It's not like
I don't agree with the money he wants. That I don't agree with. Okay, and Devers, another guy. You stop jerking these guys around. I mean, no wonder why they don't want to be here. It's because the Red Sox organization is still, they did the same thing with John Lester. They did the same thing with, the list goes on and on. I mean, I'm tired of this, really.
Yeah, they're too busy with the Pittsburgh Penguins now.
Oh, don't even start with that. They come here,
it is
January
ridiculous. 2nd? They need to do something. I mean, after last season, which was just horrid, and now you're letting arguably the most popular player leave. You got to do something, or no one's going to come to your games. It's not like football where people are going to watch and go no matter what, pretty much.
Well, they got the Wasabi Bowl coming in a couple of weeks there. I'm sure that's going to.
Yeah,
that's going to be.
Well, Steve texting us the storylines in that game. That should be interesting.
That's going to be good. That's going to be real good.
Well, that is on the docket. So since you brought it up, let's talk about the upcoming bowl games.
I'll tell you this though. One thing is for sure is that Andy's rant will not be the last rant on this episode.
No.
Oh, I'm sure.
Tom, I'm looking right at you, man. I'm looking right at you.
Oh yeah, we have all kinds of rants to get to today. It's
fired
up.
Oh boy,
a rant
show.
I'm not that fired up today, so you might not get one from me. But feel free to have at it, guys.
You'll end up thinking of something that you want to talk about.
And for those of you wondering, before we get to the college bowls, let's talk about the high school ones real quick. And the Division I MIAA Football Super Bowl, St. John's Prep defeats Springfield Central 13-0. And Division II, Catholic Memorial over King Philip 27-7. Division III, Wakefield over Milton 34-28. Division IV, Duxbury over Grafton 42-7. Division V, North Reading over Shawshene Tech 44-28. Division VI, St. Mary's over Stoneham 22-8. Division VII, West Boylston over St. Bernard's 29-6. And in Division VIII, it was Hull over Kip Academy 27-6. So a whole lot of private schools and Super Bowls.
Four schools.
Yeah, and not a lot of no close games really in the Super Bowls.
The Wakefield Milton game was pretty good.
It was actually a decent game. I watched some of that.
Really surprised on Springfield Central getting shut out by St. John's Prep.
Stunning. Absolutely stunning.
Yeah. I guess that's some revenge. Didn't Springfield Central beat them not too long ago?
I don't
know if they played. I think they played this year.
No, I don't think they did it.
No, I mean like a couple years ago. I think in the playoffs or another Super Bowl. I don't know.
They might have, but still, just not really. No games really stood out. You thought there'd be some more competitive games, but yeah, four private schools in the Super Bowls, just as this has to be addressed.
Yep, and hopefully the new system will, and we'll talk more about that in the weeks to come, and especially when we have Steve on because he knows all the good inside stuff. So we'll certainly be talking about the new high school football playoff proposal. It's looking like it'll be a good system and it'll make it more fair for those schools that can't recruit or that aren't private as well. So we'll certainly talk more about that in these upcoming weeks.
I didn't see the game, but it sounded like one of the most impressive performances was Duxbury. Duxbury just like to roll past Grafton, who I know had a really good season.
Yeah,
Duxbury just seemed like they were on a whole nother level this season.
They were, Jared. I watched the game and they were and a tremendous season for Grafton, by the way, too. They really did. But Duxbury, and Steve and John called that game a couple of weeks ago, and Duxbury just put it into another gear. You saw some really, really talented football teams here this past weekend, at Gillette. That was definitely a surprise. And West Boylston, too, another team that I've been talking about all season long. They had a really, really impressive year, and they kind of went on. Not a lot of people really talked about them, but really a dominating performance in the Super Bowl for them.
Yeah.
It seems like Hull actually had a really good season. Hull, rolled there over Kip Academy, who I know, again, had a really quality team this year, I guess. So, Hull, I don't know what the deal is there, but, man, holy cow.
Yeah, no, they had a good year.
Yeah, it was good to see some different schools in there for sure.
I'll tell you though, I watched some of the CM game at night as well. I thought they were actually probably going to beat KP by more than they did. So credit to KP for giving it their all and at least hanging around for a bit. But that freshman QB for CM is going to be insanely good.
Oh yeah,
insanely good.
I totally agree with that, Jared. Yeah, and I think you just go to see that, Catholic Memorial, I don't think had their best game, but they I don't think really had to. No. I think you saw them. They made a couple of really big plays, and King Philip is a very good team, but they're not on that level. I mean, it's just this is what I'm trying to get at. This is what we've been talking about. It just and the offensive line for Catholic Memorial is massive. Yeah. It's just crazy.
As we get a hello from the kitty cat.
Yeah, the cat wanted to say hi.
That was awesome.
Nice.
That is the best part of the show ever.
When my cats keep jumping up on the two, they want to get their 2 cents in.
That's right. He has a lot to say.
They got a rant. They got their own rant.
He's still mad about the Patriots.
Oh,
We'll get to
Come
that.
on, man.
yeah,
We'll
good
get
thing
to
that Raiders game got flexed too. Thank God it's not a Sunday night game. I mean,
Agreed.
I was surprised that got flexed though. So many storylines in that one.
Definitely a lot of storylines, but Miami Buffalo is just going to be a flat out better game.
Is that what it is now? Miami.
It is,
no,
yeah,
they
Okay.
moved the Giants and Washington only to so they'll tie again in Sunday Night Football.
No, I thought it was Giants Washington Sunday night. Now.
Yeah, they did. No, they did. Yeah,
Oh, I thought it was Miami Buffalo.
no, they're playing on Saturday night in Buffalo.
Oh, okay.
Well, that's gonna be crazy with Bills Mafia and that. Oh man,
Oh yeah, on a Saturday night, forget
don't
it.
wear your Dolphins jersey into Buffalo. So
No.
Don't leave your tables outside.
I'll
no,
tell you though, guys, if the Giants and Commanders tie again, beers are on me. Jesus. If they tie twice in a span of a couple of weeks, that would just be the most insane.
every
thing
team
ever.
in the NFC East is in the postseason right now. That's unbelievable.
You
That's
know,
nuts.
Washington and the Giants, they are very similar in the way they do.
Yeah.
Their offense is similar. Their defense. It would surprise me if they tie again. That's a very even matchup. It was
Go for the tie.
kind of very boring overtime, though, and teams
Yeah.
tie. They really need to go to college football style overtimes. Make it interesting. I
They
mean,
might
nothing
eventually.
beats the college football overtime.
They might eventually. It's just I don't know. I think all four of those teams are going to the playoffs. I think they're all pretty good. I mean, I think Philadelphia and Dallas are better, but
Yeah.
it's going to be tough for other teams to probably move ahead of those teams if you're really starting to look at the standings here.
Certainly will. We'll get to NFL in just a moment,
Yep.
but let's get to college football. So your 14 playoff, fourth seed Ohio State taking on first seeded Georgia, third seeded TCU taking on second seeded Michigan. Now, what'd you notice about the teams in the bowl? There's no Alabama. First
Nope.
time in what? I mean,
Yep.
Forever.
I
ever.
love it. I can't stand Nick
Alabama,
Saban. I love it.
Clemson. Yeah, no.
Although I can't stand Ohio State either. So I don't know. I guess
Yeah.
you win some, you lose some, but yeah.
Well, if you're the networks, they probably want Michigan, Ohio State for the national championship.
Of
But
course.
I don't think that's going to happen. I think
No.
Georgia's on a completely different level. The SEC, I told you all this the other day when we were texting. The SEC is basically a farm system for the NFL.
Yep.
All the teams are good. They're all good. I mean, what SEC team is like really not good? Even teams like a team like Missouri, they're good. I mean,
I don't think Vanderbilt was that good.
but they're still probably better than a lot of teams in
True.
college
True.
football. Just because, and that's in all sports. The SEC is the best conference in all of sports.
Yep.
It's really not even close.
Oh, yeah. I have to.
The Big Ten's just boring. I don't know. They just don't do it for me.
What do you guys think about TCU getting in?
No, they're a good team. I mean,
I think they deserve it. I mean, they lost this weekend, but they're still 12-1. And
Yeah.
I mean, they lost to a good Kansas State team who was still ranked 12th or 13th.
Yeah, a good team. You get into those
Uh,
conference championships games, anything can happen. You know,
I actually think that TCU Michigan game could be fire. Absolute fire.
That
Could be a
should
lot better than
good
the
one.
Georgia Ohio State game.
oh yeah, Georgia's going to roll. They're on
So-
a different level. You know?
So TCU Michigan, that'll be 4 p.m. New Year's Eve at State Farm Stadium in Arizona.
Hmm.
That is the Chick-fil-A Peach Bowl. And then your VRBO. Oh no, that's the VRBO Fiesta Bowl. The Chick-fil-A Peach Bowl is fourth seeded Ohio State and first seeded Georgia. And they are playing at the Mercedes-Benz Stadium in Atlanta, Georgia. So Georgia gets home field. In that one, I don't know if that's fair, but
I quite frankly, I don't think it's probably makes a difference where this game is played.
yeah, I don't
Georgia's just on another level.
All
They are unbelievable. They could probably
Stetson Bennett is a really good quarterback, and obviously their defense is elite.
they could probably beat the Patriots. That, ga-
Oh,
game's
gosh, man.
Come on. Maybe they could beat the Texans. I don't know about the Patriots.
They could
but-
probably beat the Texans.
and that'll be 8 p.m. New Year's Eve. So it should be fun.
Side note: This
some
is
fun
the
bowl
second week in a
games.
row that I streamed a fantasy football defense against the Texans, and those two defenses have both scored more than 30 points in my league.
It's very smart.
I streamed the Browns defense against them this week. Browns defense had 34 points against them.
Oh God. Man,
Very
that's a good move,
smart.
Jared. Very good move.
I'm gonna have to start looking at who's playing the Texans coming
I'm
up.
also gonna give myself a pat on the back because I made the playoffs after starting the season, I think 1-4 and then 2-5 and being in the bottom, like towards the bottom of the
Wow.
There you
league
go.
for a good chunk of the season. So
Well,
Good
congratulations.
thank you.
Good
I'm gonna give
comeback.
myself a little golf clap as well.
I don't know if I made the playoffs yet because our league goes an extra week.
I had a
Ask-
massive week this
Ask
week
Steve
too.
about that one.
Oh man.
So do you guys think that this is perhaps the end of the Nick Saban domination era in college football?
It's possible.
Maybe.
I don't know.
I mean,
It's tough to say.
It's tough to say. I mean, he's the Bill Belichick of college football. I mean, his dominant. You can't, whether you like the guy or not, you can't. He's a Hall of Fame coach. I mean, he's probably got a job for life, a life at Alabama. I don't see him really going anywhere else at this point in his career. He's not going to go back to the NFL. I mean,
No, I don't mean like him going anywhere else. I mean like
just
Alabama just dominating everything.
yeah, it could be. Georgia's really good right now, but it took a team
Yes.
like Georgia to take Alabama out.
Yeah.
I mean, it just and Georgia might be the team right now that we're going to be seeing at the top. I don't think they're slowing down anytime soon.
No, they are just absolutely loaded. But some of the other bowls include the Wasabi Fenway Bowl. That'll be your Fenway Park Bowl on December 17th, and it's Cincinnati versus Louisville.
Oh,
Now,
can't wait for that.
Unfortunately, Steve couldn't join us, but do one of you want to explain the story he was talking about? I didn't have time to read it at all.
Yeah. So the Louisville coach is now the new coach of Cincinnati as of this morning. And now
How is that even
there's a
possible?
huge rivalry there. They play for a couple of things, and now obviously
head
former
coach?
Patriots receiver Deion Branch is taking over for Louisville.
Wow, that's crazy.
Wow. How's that even allowed before like the season's over?
Oh man,
Beats
That's
me.
I mean, did that like slip out in the media somewhere and they weren't supposed to know about it right now? Or
sounds like Bobby Petrino like all over again there. Like, what's going on? Oh man.
so how do you know he's even going to be trying? He might like try to throw the game and
It's gonna be like a fight in that game or something. I mean, at the Wasabi Fenway Bowl. I mean, at 11 a.m. on a Saturday. I mean,
When I actually saw that this morning, I actually didn't even realize that they were playing at Fenway in a few weeks, and then obviously just instantly became more spicy when I found that out. So
that is wild. I wonder
What do
if
you guys
Deion
think-
Branch is going to be there.
what do you guys think of the college? I mean, I've asked this before, but should it just be like a straight playoff? Like you keep the bowls, but just like play it in like bracket style? Because I mean,
Well, they did just increase the playoff system to 12 teams now.
so it's going to 12 teams next
And
year.
that's going to be
correct?
next
It is.
year. Next year,
Yeah.
that's going to start.
All right. Well,
So you're going to have you're going to have what you said. You're going to have 12 teams in a bracket. I think
Okay.
4 of the teams get a bye.
Yep.
The top 4 get a bye. And then the bottom 8, they play a week to determine who advances to the Elite 8, I guess we could call it.
I like it.
And it's all going to be
Honestly,
bowl games.
I think I will. I have trashed college football. I told you all this the other day. I've trashed college football for so long. They've actually gotten a little bit better.
Yep.
I think you're starting to see a little bit more of an even playing ground. Like, okay, so you got the 4 teams now. We know how good Georgia is, but TCU's in there. I think that's actually a good thing.
Yep.
Because seeing some other teams are like, okay, we're getting a little bit better here, and I think it's good. I think it's good for.
Oh, go
I think it's
ahead.
good.
Sorry.
No, I like that. I think that's the way it should be. But how much? I mean, I just like who's really interested in the Fenway Bowl. Like, I
thought it was weird that they went to 12. Like, they're at 4 right now, and then they just jumped to 12.
12.
You're not going to do 8 first. See how
Money.
that works
All
out,
money.
then go to 12.
we
All right.
know where the money is in college football. That's what it is. I think it's going to be more interesting.
Yeah, well, I think it's going to be very interesting. I'm glad they did it. It makes it more of an actual playoff.
Yeah, because like get the committee. I want the committee out of it. I want the politics out of it. Who's the 12 best teams? Here you go. Here's your champion.
Right. Now you might get like some actual
Big
playoff
games. Yeah, exactly. Like what the FCS does, in Division 1 AA. It's a straight playoff. I like it. It's good that way.
Or they should do it like the NFL and have the top two. Well, actually, yeah, they're gonna have the top four get bye weeks, but have two different like. I don't know what I'm talking about, but anyways, yeah, it should be interesting. I lost my train of thought there. Sorry. All right, so another interesting bowl, Jackson State, led by Deion Sanders. They're in a bowl. They're going to be taking on North Carolina Central in the Cricket Celebration Bowl.
What?
The Cricket Celebration
What is
Bowl.
up with, this is what I have a problem with. These names, like the Detroit, like they do like the Detroit Bowl, the Hawaii Bowl, and like, oh, Hawaii's playing there. It's like, come on.
Oh, and then there's bowls that have like 10 sponsors. So it's like
exactly.
Tostitos Fiesta Almond Bowl or whatever.
Crazy, man. What is
of course
this?
Deion Sanders also now the new coach at Colorado.
Yeah.
So he's leaving Jackson State.
Yes,
indeed.
He's done a great job there. I mean, you can't
Yeah, he's taking them. I think this might be their first ever bowl.
Yes. Look at this bowl. Like the hometown lenders Bahamas Bowl. It's like, come on. I mean,
should have the HCAM Sports Talk Bowl.
Yeah, we should. I don't know. It's all about money. Like I said, it's just.
Yeah, and they're probably gonna add more bowl games too once they have the 12-team playoff. They'll have that. Then they'll add 10 more bowls with the longest names ever.
Look at the Las Vegas Bowl. That might be a good one to go to. I mean,
you got the if you're looking for the most local team, they'll be at the Myrtle Beach Bowl on December 19th. Marshall taking on UConn. That's as local as it gets here. That's the only New England team in any of these games.
Yeah, not many at all. Just UConn. They're probably gonna get rolled by Marshall.
Oh yeah, Marshall's really good.
They're good. Yeah.
That's Troy Brown's alumni.
Yeah, Randy Moss went there too. Yep,
Randy Moss. Of course, Randy Moss played. Was it high school basketball? I think with Jason Williams.
Yes.
Yep.
Yes, he did.
In the world famous Orange Bowl, one of the oldest bowls, on December 30th, 6-seeded Tennessee taking on 7-seeded Clemson. That'll be a good battle.
That would be a good game, but Clemson probably should roll there because Tennessee's QB, Hendon Hooker, who's really good, is out for the season with a torn ACL. It stinks. He's really good.
Yep.
Yeah, no, like the Orange Bowl, it's been around forever. That's really, I think that's the staple bowl. That and the Rose Bowl. Those are the two staple bowl games.
Yep.
And in case you're wondering about Alabama, well, they would have been the 5th seed if we had the 12-team playoff, but they'll be in the Sugar Bowl on New Year's Day, taking on 9th-seeded Kansas State.
Kansas State, of course, again, like I said, just beat TCU the other day, so that actually could be a pretty decent game.
It could. I think Alabama will win, but yeah.
What's Kansas State's record? Anyone know off the top of their head?
No.
Kansas State is.
I'd imagine they have a loss or two, and that's.
I think they're 11-2.
Okay. So they got one more loss in TCU. That's why they gave it a TCU. And then you got the Rose Bowl, 8-seeded Utah and 11-seeded Penn State.
The Rose Bowl's always that's a classic. It really is.
Yeah.
Utah, of course, stunning USC the other day in the Pac-12 championship game.
Big game, big win for Utah. Yeah.
Caleb Williams now, I think, out for the season for USC at QB, which stinks.
That's a big one. Big one at US. Big one at the Rose Bowl.
Yeah.
Yep. I love the New Year's Day bowls. Those are always usually really good.
Yeah.
But should be a fun college playoff season, and we'll certainly stay up to date with it and talk about some of these games on the show, and we'll make our predictions as well for the playoff games as it gets closer. We'll count those in the stand.
Don't ask me to pick the Wasabi Bowls. I have no idea.
Oh, you got to pick. Yes.
I already know who I'm picking there.
Predict the winner of the Wasabi Bowl.
Pick a tie. I'm just gonna pick a tie.
I might
pick the coaches won't fight each other.
Cincinnati's the better team, though. Cincinnati should win that game.
Yeah. Huh?
Yeah, probably. But I just wonder, like, so the Louisville coach going to Cincy, is he going to try to throw the game, give it to his new school? I
Oh
don't know.
God, what a
I mean,
disaster!
his players must be like pretty mad.
Oh, I'd be lit. I'd be furious.
Yeah,
Furious.
Finish up the season. I mean,
right.
you can't. You don't do that. You don't.
That's why I think the word got out, and they didn't really want it to, but it got out a little early, a little premature there.
Yep.
Yeah.
All right, so I want to talk a little bit about the World Cup. U.S. advanced to the knockout stage. November 21st, they tied Wales in group play 1-1. November 25th, tied England 0-0. And then on November 29th, they defeated Iran in what was a great win, 1-0. And then December 3rd, first game in the knockout stage, lost to the Netherlands 3-1, gave up a couple early goals, but good to see U.S. make it that far. I ask you guys, a lot of the players on U.S. and a lot of these analysts are claiming that soccer is certainly growing in the United States, and with the success of the girls national team in recent years and the boys team this year. What do you think? Do you think soccer is growing? And what were your thoughts about the U.S. World Cup performance? Jared, let's start with you.
Yeah, I mean, I think there's no question that the U.S. men's national team is developing and certainly on the rise a bit. But are they at that level that they need to be? No. And you saw that against the Netherlands. I watch a lot of soccer, as you guys know. I mean, this is honestly about what I expected. I expected the U.S. to get out of the group, which they did. But you probably knew they were going to be matched up with somebody tough in the next round. And quite frankly, Netherlands was just better. The Netherlands does not make a lot of mistakes. They move the ball better. Yeah, I mean, obviously the U.S. has a ton of talent that plays overseas. Tyler Adams is a great player. Weston McKennie is a great player. Pulisic. But yeah, I mean, they made some mistakes. Even Tyler Adams, who I thought has been the U.S.'s best performer in midfield, didn't track a run on that first goal scored by the Netherlands, and it went from there. But yeah, I mean, just credit to the Netherlands, and I'm happy for the USA, but I didn't expect them to really beat Netherlands, so to say. If they did, I would have been shocked. I know a lot of people probably were like, "Oh, USA is going to win this game," blah blah blah. No, the Netherlands is good.
Oh, I didn't think they were going to beat the Netherlands. No way. Well, one thing that was pretty shocking, that game was on at 9 a.m. on a Saturday. There was
10 a.m.
There was 16.5 million viewers on US TV. That's pretty impressive for a 9 a.m. game on a Saturday.
Yeah, not bad.
I thought the U.S., they had a good run. They did about what I expected. The most impressive thing to me was the fact they tied England.
Oh yeah, I mean, they played a good game that game. I think they were good. They got up for that, but then they almost even let Iran tie it up in the Iran game. But yeah, I mean,
the last few minutes of that game was
so
insane.
nervy.
I really want.
Yeah, I mean, they played well against England, but that doesn't say much when the highlight of your World Cup is a 0-0 draw with England.
Yeah, no, I mean, they definitely have a ways to go. The one thing I will say that there's a lot more Americans playing over in the European leagues now, which are a little more prestigious than the American professional soccer league. So I think that says a lot. I feel like they're slightly more competitive than they used to be. The sports stuff, I mean, everything I see, it's pretty popular here. I mean, especially around Massachusetts. Just watching the Hillers this year, those games were packed.
Yep.
All those playoff games had a lot of fans at them, and people were interested. So I think around here it is. I can't speak so much for the Midwest or anything like that or other parts of the country, but I think in New England it's certainly pretty popular. I know the participation rates in the youth leagues are very good. I think some of the youth leagues have maybe dwindled a little bit, but I'm still seeing pretty good participation based on what I know. It's a great sport. I recommend every kid should try it. Certainly worth it. And
Well, yeah, I mean, again, no, sorry, Tom. I think the development of the players has obviously gotten a bit better because, again, you're seeing more players play in some of the top European leagues. Like I said, Weston McKennie and Pulisic both play in the English Premier League. Or no, Tyler Adams and Pulisic. McKennie plays for Juventus, one of the best teams in Serie A. Yunus Musa plays for Valencia in the Spanish league. Yeah, I mean they're putting guys in the right leagues, but I think as a team, it's going to take a little bit longer for them to really develop and maybe try to get to where they would like to be or where they would want to be able to compete more with some of these higher level teams.
Yeah, I think they have ways to go. I think they're heading in the right direction for sure, but I think it's going to take a while to catch up with these European teams and some of these South American teams because they've been playing this for many more years than the United States and just have a lot of I mean, they don't have all these other sports we have here either. That's part of it. Like American football is not very popular in Brazil or England. Maybe it's growing over in England, but baseball's not as popular, basketball's not as popular, and some of these countries, soccer is it to a lot of these countries. And I think
you see that, with some of the, the top 9 nations, most of them have now moved on, even in the knockout. England beat Senegal 3-0. Argentina's obviously moving on. They beat Australia 2-1. Brazil won 4-1 today. France won 3-1. So I mean, you're seeing a lot of the top nations in the world, now moving on, and there's a reason why.
Yeah, absolutely. But it was a good run. Hopefully they'll have more runs coming up in the very near future. Andy, did you have anything you want to say about the soccer run or?
I mean, just kind of piggybacking up with the two you said, they kind of did what I expected. I didn't even know I even thought they were going to get out of their group play. It's going to be really, really difficult for this team to compete on this stage. Now, maybe in 4 years, it'll be a little bit different when it comes to the U.S. and to Canada and Mexico. I believe it's the 3 countries are hosting.
Yeah, that'll be fun.
That will be good. Because honestly, guys, like the World Cup happening in December, it should be over the summer. It never should have been.
This was a one-term thing. It's because of the situation in Qatar with the weather and all that. So.
Yeah, no, I know, but it should have never been there in the first place. And I'm not going to go on a rant on that, but it's going to be much better when it comes here in 4 years. I can guarantee that.
I mean, I could fire off a really epic rant about that, but
we did enough soccer. We still got to get to football. We're running out of time. So. But just in case you were wondering, Vegas favorite to win the World Cup's Brazil plus 430 odds. France second favorite 550. England third favorite 700. And actually they're tied with Argentina. And Spain plus 750. Germany 950. But what I expected.
Well, Germany didn't advance. Germany got knocked out in the group stages.
Oh, they did. Wow. Okay, that was an upset. Well, I guess these are old odds, but Brazil's the favorite.
So did Belgium. Germany and
Belgium's out too,
Yeah, I didn't say Belgium. But Brazil the favorite, and they look really good. They just crushed Korea. I don't know what the final was, but it was 4-0 in the first half. I know that.
Yeah, 4-1. They scored all 4 of their goals in the first 36 minutes of the game.
Unreal. Yeah, they look very good. But France, they're always that upset special, so we'll have to see what happens. But I do want to get to our week 14 picks. We got about 15 minutes, so we'll have to make it a little bit quicker than normal, but that's okay. We want to squeeze some of these other topics in that we've been kind of ignoring for a while. But Thursday night football, Las Vegas at the Rams. Anybody going to go with the Rams here?
No, which is ridiculous because I never thought I would pick the Raiders again this season, yet here I am. Because the Rams are just atrocious.
Yep. I mean,
Bad.
how could you go with the Rams right now?
Bad team.
All right, moving right along to the Sunday games. Jets at Buffalo. This is a crucial game in the playoff picture and potentially in the AFC East as well. It is a crucial game in the AFC East. Buffalo could really start to part ways with the rest of the division if they take this one. Jets, they beat Buffalo last time. I think Buffalo gets some revenge here and takes down the Jets in what will probably be a very close game. Jared, what do you think?
You're not even picking your new squad, man? Jeez. Holy cow, man. Some loyalty you got.
Jets aren't my new squad.
I'm picking the Bills here.
All right. Andy, who do you got?
Yeah, I'm going with the Bills. I just can't see the Jets going in here at this time and winning.
Yep.
Oh, and
Bills have some motivation.
Yes. Yes.
I should mention our records last week. Me, Steve, and Andy all 11-2.
Wow.
Jared 10-3. Mike 8-5.
Yep.
So there you go. Overall standings: Jared in first, 121 wins. Steve in second, 117. Me and Andy tied for third at 111. Mike in last at 107.
We're battling.
Yeah, certainly are.
Honestly, credit to you guys for picking San Fran. I thought Miami would win that game, and San Fran looked pretty good, even without Garoppolo.
They did. That backup didn't look that bad.
Brock Purdy played good. This was not a good performance by Miami. I think they took a big step back this week.
They did, yeah. And San Fran's defense was really good, but
Yeah.
Miami definitely did take a step back. The 49ers defense alone could still lead them deep into the playoffs, even without Jimmy G. Losing Jimmy G hurts, but that defense is unreal.
Yeah.
All right. Christian McCaffrey played well the other day, too. He had a good game.
That helps, too. That definitely helps.
Yeah, absolutely. Moving along with the 1:00 games, Cleveland at the Bengals. Anybody gonna dare and take Cleveland?
No.
No,
Bengals look really good right now.
They really do. And this is a team you really need to keep your eyes on. They get up for big games, and they're going to have Buffalo again in a few weeks. Cincinnati really could become the number one seed in the AFC. They've already beaten Kansas City. And if they beat Buffalo, that's a big one.
I can definitely see them going 4-1 in their next 5, too. I think they beat Cleveland. They can definitely beat Tampa Bay. They can beat us for sure. Again, them against Buffalo is going to be a sick game. Absolutely sick game.
Joe Burrow is becoming an elite quarterback. He's really
love Joe Burrow. Absolutely love Joe Burrow.
It's Josh Allen, Joe Burrow, Pat Mahomes, and Lamar Jackson. Those are your 4 top guys in the AFC.
Jalen. Oh, yeah. Oh, I thought you were talking about overall. I was going to say Jalen Hurts is.
Oh yeah, yeah. But in the AFC, they have separated themselves from everybody else.
Oh, definitely. This is about the time last year the Bengals got absolutely red hot. They were kind of like borderline 500 around this time, and then they got super hot, won like their last 5 or 6 games, went into the playoffs, crushed everybody, and went right to the Super Bowl. So that could very well happen again. I think this team is starting to heat up at the very right time.
Also, real quick, the Bengals could have won that game by more if Tyler Boyd didn't drop like the easiest touchdown catch in the world. You know, they kind of ran a pick play. He had it in his hands. He was open by 5 yards and dropped it. I mean, that was stunning.
Yeah, give the Bengals credit. They got Kansas City's number.
They definitely do. Absolutely. They do. Houston at Dallas. I'm just going to go right in Dallas for everybody.
I can't pick the Cowboys defense up in fantasy. Somebody already has them. There goes my streak of picking up defenses against the Texans. But
Dallas should win this game by 21 points. They shouldn't even remotely
more. Give me Dallas by 30.
Watch this end up being a game.
Oh God! If you lose to the Texans, no.
Oh, by the way, that fourth quarter against the Colts, that was brutal.
But that game had no business being on Sunday night.
No.
What a joke!
No,
that was
they
awful.
Just left it there because it's the Cowboys.
Literally every play was like a turnover in the second half. I kept looking up. It was like boom, turnover. It's like, are you serious right now?
I mean, it was good. It was a good game up until the fourth quarter, and then it was just awful.
I think Dallas could start their third string quarterback and they'll still beat the Texans.
Yep.
Absolutely. All right, Vikings at the Lions. Lions are playing pretty well lately. They've won, I think, 4 of their last 5, so they're playing pretty well. But I got to go Vikings here. I think Lions keep it close though. I think this game could end up being a shootout. Jared, who you going with?
I'm really tempted to pick the Lions here for some weird reason. I mean, they're hot right now.
Do it.
Yeah, let's do it. I'm going with the Lions.
All right. I like it.
Let's
Andy.
get it.
I'm taking the Vikings. I think they're having a really good season. Yeah, the Lions are they have been playing well, but I don't know. This is really a must win for the Lions. If they lose this, the Vikings really don't have to win this game, but so they got a pretty comfortable lead in the division. It might be a close game, but I am going to stick with the Vikings.
I might be handing you guys one here, just absolutely handing you guys one here, but let's have some fun and let it rip with the Lions.
There you go.
All right. Philly at the G-Men.
Also, the Lions look really good yesterday. I know it was against Jacksonville, but the Lions, 40 points.
That was a horrible pick.
I picked up, I had Jimmy G on my fantasy team. He got hurt. That ruined my week, but it's still looking good. It's still looking like I'm going to make the playoffs. But I went ahead and picked up Jared Goff, so hopefully that'll pay off. Philly at the Giants. I am going Philly here. This game will probably be close. Those NFC East games always are close. The Giants played pretty well against Washington last week, but give me Philly. Andy, who you going with?
Oh, Philly. I can't pick against them right now. The Giants they just still don't do it for me. Yeah, it might be close, but Philadelphia's the better team.
All right, Jared.
I was probably going to say the exact same thing as Andy just said, literally word for word, probably the exact same thing Andy just said.
All right.
I still don't believe in the Giants. Philly is the best team in the league, in my opinion. Let it rip.
There you go. Andy speaks for us all.
Well, that could be dangerous. I mean,
Baltimore at Pittsburgh. Let's start off with Jared for this one.
Oh, this is a weird one, especially if Lamar doesn't play. I actually don't know here. I think I'll still take Baltimore, but maybe I'm in the wrong here. I don't know. I'll go Baltimore, even with Huntley at QB. I don't believe in Pittsburgh too much right now.
Huntley's not bad. He's pretty good. He's no Lamar, but he's decent. Andy, who you going with?
I'm going with the Steelers. They actually have
have
played a little bit better. I don't think they're a playoff team, but the Ravens are in a tough spot here. And you don't want to risk starting Lamar Jackson. I mean, if he's not 100%, they barely got by the Broncos last week. This is something you need to keep your eyes on here because I think this Ravens team's a little overrated as it is. I think the Bengals are better, but the Steelers, and it's in Pittsburgh. You know the way these two teams play.
Oh, this game is in Pittsburgh?
Yes.
Oh. Yeah. No, I'm going to the Steelers. It's in Pittsburgh. I thought it was in
that was
Baltimore.
going to be my upset special, and everyone's picking the Steelers. Not cool. All right.
That's not really an upset special, though, too much, though, right now, because Baltimore, again, like Andy said, is a little bit overrated.
I'm picking the Steelers because they've actually played good the last few weeks. Baltimore has kind of been a little and it's a divisional game, and they usually split. And I think Baltimore, actually, I don't know if they played yet, but I don't know. I just got a feel about Pittsburgh here. All right, Pittsburgh across the board. Moving along, Jaguars at the Titans. Anyone going Jags?
No.
No.
Tennessee.
No.
Even though I don't think Tennessee, they got blown out last week. They should be able to beat this team.
They did not look good last week, but yes, they should be able to beat the Jags. They did play Philly last week. That was the number 1 team in football right now.
Yeah.
Kansas City at Denver. I'm just going to go ahead and rate Chiefs for everybody.
Give Steve the Broncos.
Andy, are you taking the Broncos?
No. I said give Steve the Broncos. So,
yes.
I'm just kidding.
What a disaster. I mean, you got to think the Denver defense is starting to get mad at the offense.
No, and you got to play the Chiefs this week. I mean, that doesn't bode well.
Denver needs to sack the whole team, get the whole team out of there, get the whole team, the whole coaching staff, get them out of there.
Just have the Chiefs show up and they just scrimmage each other, right? I mean,
all right. Carolina at Seattle. Speaking of Carolina, they just released Baker Mayfield. So he's going to be a free agent. Maybe he'll end up in San Francisco. Very possible. I'm going to go Seattle. Carolina's kind of a mess. Seattle's still playing. They have playoff hopes, and they could very likely make it if they keep doing what they've been doing. So give me the Seahawks. Andy, who are you going with?
Go Seattle. I can't pick Carolina in this game. Seahawks still a pretty. I know they tailed off a little bit, but they're still a pretty formative team.
All right, Jared.
Once again, Andy speaks for me. I was going to say the exact same thing. I can't pick Carolina here.
I'm sorry. Start letting Jared go first. So I don't want to speak.
I'm gonna
have dude. No, I mean you're spitting facts, man. Come on.
That's all he does. He's a fact machine.
I learned from Steve. That's who I learned from. So
touche.
Seattle across the board. Tampa Bay at San Francisco. This is going to be a crucial game, and you can find that pick on our website because we're recording on a Monday, so we're not picking that one tonight. Moving on to Sunday Night Football. Miami at the LA Chargers. Chargers, they desperately need a win for their playoff hopes, but I just don't trust them. I think Miami is a comeback game after their rough loss to San Francisco last week. I'll take the Dolphins. Jared, who are you taking?
Yeah, I'm going to Miami. I can't pick the Chargers here.
All right, Andy.
It's a crucial game for both teams because Miami's got Buffalo again on the road the following week. There'll be 3 straight road games for them.
Yeah.
Chargers, I don't trust them, but I am going to pick the Dolphins. But this is a tough spot for the Dolphins coming up.
All right, certainly is.
I just think the Chargers are, I don't know, they're too up and down. They're one of the most inconsistent teams in the league.
Yeah. They really are. You don't know what you're going to get out of them.
No.
All right, so unfortunately, we have only a few minutes left, so I can't make the rant too long. But Patriots at Arizona is our last pick, and I'm going with Arizona. You know why? Because the Patriots defense is a fraud. They don't have any good cornerbacks that could keep up with a speedy receiver, and I don't think they'll be able to stop Arizona's weapons. Anytime they're going against a good receiver, they are just beyond awful. Mac Jones is awful. Matt Patricia is awful. The play calling against Buffalo was atrocious. Mac Jones, I don't know if he could play the position. I think some of it's coaching, but he's just not good. This team's not good. This offense isn't good. This defense isn't good. I think they're a bit of a fraudulent team. If you look at all the teams they beat, it's teams that don't have a very good offense. Whenever they play against a good offense, the defense gets burned, and they still don't put up points. And how are you going to keep up with Arizona when they're averaging 20-something points a game? Mac Jones just can't do it. He can't put up more than, 19, 20 points. They did it once against the Vikings. That was the most impressive game of the season. I gave him credit for that, but I just don't think they can compete with any team that has a good offense because they just can't get the scoring going, and their defense they can't cover guys. They can't cover anyone that's speedy. The Patriots for many years used to cut the head off the snake. They used to stop the best weapon. They just can't do it anymore. Whenever there's a team that has good receivers, they just get burnt. So I got absolutely no hope in the Patriots. I think they might lose out. They just look like a train wreck right now. And I think you got Mac Jones and Matt Patricia yelling at each other on the sidelines the other day. I think they're starting to lose the room a little bit. So give me Arizona here. And I'm done. Jared, who do you got?
This is actually a really tough game to pick, in my opinion, for a few different reasons. But I am actually going to go with the Patriots here in a weird one. Arizona, again, probably one of the more inconsistent and most undisciplined teams in the league this year.
And that is true. They are.
This is absolutely a must-win game for the Patriots. Like, if your back's to the wall here, I think the play calling is atrocious, and I hope something is done about that in that game. Somebody new or something, but I am going to go with the Patriots here. I think they might struggle with Kyler Murray, but I think this is a game they have to win, and I think they will find some weird way to win.
Yeah, I mean, looking at their schedule, this is one of the games that I think they're more likely to win, but how are they going to stop Hopkins? I just don't think they have anybody that can stop that guy. And every time they play against a good receiver, they just get burned by him. And then when it's not the receiver burning them, they get burned on the ground. And it doesn't matter who the running back is. It's just terrible.
I mean, we have some decent D-backs. I mean, Ben, I don't think Hopkins is on Justin Jefferson's level right now, but I'd even be a little bit more worried about containing Kyler Murray.
Right.
I mean, obviously the Patriots defense does struggle with mobile quarterbacks, but yeah.
Andy, who you going with?
Now Jared took the words out of my mouth. I am going to pick the Patriots in a weird way as well. I just don't trust Arizona. Patriots have had some success out there against this team, but Jared's absolutely right. This is a must win, and the game against Las Vegas next week, must win. You lose both these games, your season is
You're
over.
toast. You're absolutely
done.
toast.
Yeah.
You're not beating the Bengals. The Miami game, who knows? The Buffalo game, probably not. But this is
you lose one of them, you're done. You still got Cincinnati coming up,
Miami and Buffalo.
don't they?
And
they
Buffalo.
Yeah, I mean, you're going to lose 1, 2, or maybe all of those. So
You have to win. You have to win these two
both.
games. You have to win these 2 games on the road.
Yep.
To have any shot.
Yeah, I think they're falling apart. I really do. I think the walls are coming down, and the Pats are starting to get revealed for their flaws, but we shall see. All right, we got a few minutes for a final word. Jared, anything you have to say about anything you want?
No, I mean, we already talked World Cup a little bit. We talked high school playoffs. Big game for the Bruins right now against Bruce Cassidy and the Golden Knights, who are obviously playing good hockey right now this year as well. Should be a great game. Yeah, I don't know. That's all I got right now.
There you go. It's all right. Short and sweet. I like it. Andy, you got anything?
Yeah, I'll try to be as quick as I can. I just want to say at MIAA, we had one of our busiest weekends of the year this past weekend. We were at the Hopkinton Holiday Stroll at Western Nurseries this past Saturday, and I had a great time there. We broadcasted the Buzz live. We also had our Stuff a Bus campaign this past weekend. We stuffed a school bus full of thousands and thousands of toys. Unbelievable. Just so overwhelmed how generous our community is. And I got to be in the Santa parade yesterday with that bus. It was awesome to see, just to see so many children and teens who are going to have a wonderful Christmas in our area. It all starts in community. That's what I say. And really, really just a fantastic event. I want to thank everyone who came out and donated toys to us this past weekend. It really means a lot to all of us. And real quickly, Holy Cross taking on South Dakota State in the quarterfinals this Saturday at noon. I like this Holy Cross team. I think they're going to pull a massive upset and be 2 wins away from a national championship.
I second that.
I third that.
All right.
Love it. Love it. Holy Cross.
They're good, man. They're good.
Killer Winter Sports starting up very, very soon. We are looking forward to it. Catch most of the home games live on HCAM. But for Andy Barron, Jared Keene, I'm Tom Nappy. We thank you for joining us on this edition of HCAM Sports Talk. Take care, be well, and we'll talk to you again soon. Goodbye, everybody.